All right, so someone sent us Dorey Duncan Scott and her blog, Voguegenics, for a deep dive.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, after digging into the
Right.
stuff you sent over, I can totally see why. It's not just fashion. It's not just advice. It's, well, let's bring in our expert. Because they picked up on something really fascinating about what Dorey's trying to build.
Yeah, I was really struck by how Dorey's vision for Voguegenics,
Yeah.
it goes beyond just a blog, you know. It's almost like a manifesto
Yeah.
for reinvention, especially for women who are feeling kind of lost after their kids are grown or, you know, a big life change. It's about finding your own style, your voice. You know your own. Awesome second act.
Yes, and she's walking the walk too, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
her background is like a choose-your-own-adventure novel, modeling, music,
Yeah.
law,
That-
even teaching paralegal studies. You don't meet someone with that kind of resume every day.
No, you don't. And what's impressive is she's not just dabbling, she's like excelled in each of those things.
Yeah.
And you can really feel that depth of experience, you know, informing her whole approach to Voguegenics. It's not just surface level advice, there's real substance, grounded in her own journey.
Okay, so she's aiming this at a pretty specific audience then,
Huh.
women in midlife, who are trying to figure out what now. That resonates with me, even though I'm not quite there yet. We all hit those points in life where we need to reassess, right?
Absolutely. And, you know, while Dorey's personal experience, being a wife, a mother, dealing with her husband's cancer battle, it makes her incredibly relatable to that demographic for sure.
Right.
But the themes that she tackles are universal. I mean, we all crave connection and purpose and a sense of style, whatever that means for each of us.
Okay, but let's talk about this style for a second.
There is it?
Because it is not your typical mommy blog aesthetic. Dorey's brand is bold. She describes it as Victorian Gothic queen in modern luxe, which I'm still trying to wrap my head around.
Yeah, it's a lot. Think Chanel meets a rock concert with like a touch of Gothic romance thrown in there. It's edgy, aspirational, and totally memorable. She's not afraid to stand out in that confidence.
It's contagious. Yeah. From the glimpses we've seen, I'm picturing corsets paired with leather jackets, maybe some dramatic smoky eye makeup, all set against a backdrop of a Gothic mansion or something. Am I getting close?
You're getting the idea. And that visual really encapsulates what Dorey's all about. Embracing your individuality, pushing boundaries, and expressing yourself authentically.
So don't let the bold visuals fool you. This isn't just about looking cool. It's about feeling empowered from the inside out. Dorey wants to help women find their own unique it factor. She even talks about wanting to make the difference in someone's life.
Yeah, and I think that genuine desire to help is really what sets Dorey apart. She's not just dispensing advice, she's walking the walk, sharing her own vulnerabilities, her own identity crisis after a motorcycle accident. That authenticity makes her message all the more powerful.
Okay, this is already getting me excited to dive into the blog itself. But before we do, I'm curious to hear more about this identity crisis Dorey mentioned. Did she elaborate on what that entailed?
She did. And it ties directly into her message of reinvention. You know, this accident wasn't just a physical setback. It forced her to reevaluate her priorities, her passions, her entire sense of self. And Voguegenics is, in many ways, the result of that soul searching.
Wow. That's incredibly inspiring. It speaks to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of finding purpose. Even in the face of adversity, I'm betting. This experience deeply informs
Oh.
the advice and guidance she offers on her blog.
Absolutely. It's clear that Dorey's own journey of self-discovery has given her valuable insights into the challenges and triumphs of reinvention. And that's what makes Voguegenics so compelling. It's not just a collection of tips and tricks. It's like a roadmap for navigating life's twists and turns with style and grace.
Okay, I am officially hooked. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of Voguegenics. What kind of content can we expect to find there? Is it all fashion and beauty? Or does it go deeper than that?
Oh, it definitely goes deeper. And that's where Dorey's diverse background really shines through. She seamlessly blends fashion and beauty advice with personal development strategies, tech trends, even travel suggestions. It's a holistic approach to self-improvement, all wrapped up in that signature Voguegenics aesthetic.
I'm already impressed
My plea?
by how she's able to weave together so many different threads into a cohesive whole. It's like she's saying, hey, you can be interested in fashion, in technology, personal growth, and travel, all while rocking
Yeah.
a killer Victorian-inspired outfit.
Exactly. Dory's not about putting people in boxes. She's about empowering them to embrace their multifaceted selves and create a life that truly reflects their passions and interests. And that's what makes her so relatable. You get the sense that Dory's not just like preaching from a pedestal. She's right there in the trenches with you, figuring things out as she goes.
Okay, so she's got this incredible background, a clear vision, a unique style. But how does that translate to the actual content on Voguegenics?
Yeah.
What can our listener expect to find when they visit the blog?
Well, you'll find a mix of everything really reflecting Dory's diverse interests and experiences. There are fashion tips, of course, but she goes beyond the basics. She delves into the psychology of style, like how to use clothing to express your personality and boost your confidence.
Knowing her background, I bet she brings a really unique perspective to those fashion discussions. It's not just about following trends. It's about using fashion as a tool for self-discovery.
Exactly. And that same thoughtful approach applies to her beauty advice. She's not pushing the latest fad products. She's focusing on skincare routines, makeup tips, and overall wellness practices that enhance natural beauty.
This is reminding me of how she used to teach paralegal studies. Even though it's a completely different field, I can see how that experience of breaking down complex concepts and making them accessible would translate well to explaining things like skincare or makeup techniques.
It's that teacher's instinct, to inform and empower. And she carries that same energy into her discussions of tech trends. She breaks down the latest gadgets and apps, not just from a what's cool perspective, but from a how can this make your life easier or more fulfilling angle.
That's so smart.
Mm.
It's easy to get overwhelmed by the constantly evolving tech landscape. But Dory's approach seems very grounded and practical. She's not just chasing the shiny new thing, she's looking for tools that actually add value.
Right. And then there's her travel content, which is a whole other adventure. She shares tips for planning trips, finding hidden gems, and experiencing different cultures in a meaningful way.
I can see her legal background coming into play here, too. She probably has a knack for research and planning, which are essential skills for any traveler.
Yeah.
It sounds like she also brings a sense of adventure and a willingness to step outside her comfort zone, which is so inspiring.
Absolutely. And what ties all of this content together is Dory's personal voice. She's witty, relatable, and genuinely enthusiastic about the topics she covers. It's like having a conversation with a friend who happens to be incredibly knowledgeable and stylish.
She's that friend who always has the best recommendations, whether it's a new restaurant, a must-read book, or a life-changing podcast.
Exactly, and that's the magic of Voguegenics. It's more than just a blog, it's a community, a source of inspiration, a place to connect with like-minded women who are all on a journey of self-discovery and reinvention.
I'm sensing a theme here, and it goes back to what we discussed earlier about Dory's mission. This isn't just about fashion or beauty or travel. It's about using those things as tools to empower women, to help them find their voice, and to create a life that they truly love.
And that message is so needed, especially for women who are navigating those midlife transitions. It's easy to feel invisible or lost during those phases, but Dory's saying, hey, you're not alone. You're still vibrant, you're still relevant, and you've got so much to offer.
Okay, you've officially convinced me. I'm adding Voguegenics to my reading list, ASAP. But before we wrap up, I'm curious to hear what aspect of Dory's story resonated most with you. What stood out from all the different facets of her background and her work?
For me, it's her resilience. The fact that she went through this major identity crisis after her accident. But instead of letting it defeat her, she channeled that experience into creating something so positive and empowering. That's a lesson we can all take to heart no matter what challenges we're facing.
I love that. It's a reminder that sometimes the toughest times in our lives can lead to the most profound transformations. And in Dory's case, that transformation has resulted in a platform that's inspiring countless women to embrace their own unique journeys.
Yeah, it really is remarkable how she's turned a personal challenge into something so empowering for others. I think that's what makes Voguegenics so special. It's not just like a one-way street of advice. It's a space for shared experiences and mutual support. Right. And that sense of community is something Dory actively cultivates, She encourages interaction on the blog, whether it's through comments, social media, or even in-person events. She wants to create a space where women can connect, learn from each other, and lift each other up.
So it's more than just a blog then. It's
Yeah.
like a movement. It's about women supporting women, sharing their stories, and finding strength. It's their collective wisdom.
Exactly. And that goes back to the core message of reinvention. It's not something you have to do alone. Dory's created this network, this tribe, to help women navigate those transitions with confidence and grace.
I got to say, I am completely blown away by what we've uncovered about Dorey Duncan Scott and Voguegenics. It's clear she's a force to be reckoned with. Intelligent, stylish,
Yeah.
and deeply passionate about empowering women.
She really is. She's like a true Renaissance woman for the modern age. And Voguegenics is a testament to her multifaceted talents and her unwavering commitment to making a difference.
So, what does this all mean for you, our listener? If you're looking for inspiration, for practical advice, for a sense of community, and a whole lot of style, Voguegenics is definitely worth checking out.
Absolutely. And we'd love to hear your thoughts. What aspect of Dorey's journey resonated with you most? What are you most excited to explore? On Voguegenics, let us know.
Until next time,
Bye.
keep exploring, keep reinventing,
Yeah.
and keep shining.